following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Thursday, 11:30 a.m., and that can mean only one thing. You are looking live at the Tostitos Championship Plaza at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, and today is a monumental day, folks.
Let's go!
First off, it's 54 degrees outside, by the way. It's cloudy. It feels like 54. But the weather's going to turn out nice this weekend. But today, let's get to this monumental thing that's happening today. For the first time in over a year, we are back together in the same room, on the air, live, hanging with the boys, coming at you. You ain't ready for this.
Let's go.
You ain't ready for this show today. The energy is coming out of my ears.
Nathaniel.
Finally, we got Jesse in the studio. You look thick. You look thicker than oatmeal.
See, this is why I love this sweatsuit because it's super comfortable, but I don't like wearing it because it makes me look fat.
You look
like
doughy.
It makes me look.
You look bigger than Nate.
You know?
I don't know about that.
No. What's on underneath it? No, Jesse. No. Okay. All right.
I just gotta my shirt might not be.
Okay.
But I just don't like feeling. I gotta give back. I got to let you feel some of that. You know what I'm saying?
You still look a little thick. Yeah.
I'm in that gym though.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm in the gym.
How you doing? You good?
I'm great.
It's good seeing you, Nate. How you
What's
doing?
up, Nate?
I'm just.
They looking good.
I'm just.
Got
I'm
the
not
fuchsia
feeling
on the
this
day,
day,
man.
man.
I like that color on you, man. Bring out your eyes.
Something's wrong with your mic.
I'm
We're not
feeling,
getting any
I'm not
sound
feeling
from your
this
mic.
day, man. I'm not feeling this day,
Wow,
bro.
what's wrong?
I'm not feeling this day. I looked at our home game and our away games, and I looked at is it not up?
I can hear him.
I can hear him.
We can hear him. Yeah, we hear him. You're the only one deleted, Shannon. You deleted from the show. But and then I'm looking at the questions that from the Amen corner over there. I'm just, wow. And then I woke up again, Shannon. I'll be honest with you, and I try to study for this show, man.
Do you really?
Yeah, and that's what been messing me up the last month is I actually get up and say, okay, what are we going to discuss? And, man, it is disheartening. Now they talking about getting the offensive tackle, bro.
What?
Now they talking about.
You know what? Let's get into that. Kurt, how are you today, by the way?
Good.
Man.
Good. I think I'm doing
I
better
hate
than
to
Nate
complain,
over there.
man. I hate to complain with Jesse just getting back, but wow. Man,
Well, Kurt,
please.
let's talk about the tackle.
Well, that's it's becoming another hot. Like Nate was saying, closer we get to the draft, the more it's going to be offense. So you had one NFC coach tell Peter King that, quote, I can't see how the Cowboys pass up on Northwestern tackle Rashawn Slater if he's there. That offensive line, talking about the Cowboys, is declining fast. Matt Miller has come out, said they should take Slater. Brian Baldinger said they should look at the offensive tackle. Do they need to protect their big investment in Dak? Are you confident in Tyron Smith and Collins?
Don't ask that question in this room. You know what we all said.
Yep.
We all said defense for the last 6 months, and then 2 weeks ago you had to bring up the Kyle Pitts statement, and now you made us all commit that if he's there at 10, we would all take him. And now you're bringing up an offensive tackle.
What if the best player on the board's a tackle? Well, what are we going to do?
What are you going to do, Nate?
And then I go. I said, "Well, I'll get a pick me up, Jess." I said, "I will go to the DallasCowboys.com. I'll go to their website, and then I look in here and they say Gerald McCoy. Hey, that's the guy we had here last year that blew a quad.
Yep.
And he campaigning to come back. I'm like, I'm 33, but I ain't played in a year. I'm saying, okay. Is it a out? Is it a out? Is it a out here somewhere? I'm asking Shannon, is it a out somewhere?
out.
What do you mean an out? Like opt out of the season already?
A defensive player that can play possibly for the Dallas Cowboys that is rated higher than Gerald McCoy?
In the draft or in free agency?
I'm just saying,
Definitely
man.
free agency. They probably just can't afford it.
Wow. The best player. Please do not let the best player
All right,
drop
quit evading
us.
the question. Would you take an offensive tackle if he's the best player on the board at 10? If he falls to you?
You will not get me to go against myself. I will not do it. I am officially shut down as of right now.
Well, you already
So
did.
you're taking the best defensive need then.
You already said you'd take Pitts
You ever
if you
seen the
fell to
movie
10.
Surrogates? You ever seen the movie Surrogates?
No.
With Bruce, is it Bruce Willis? And then you know, these are robots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're perfect humans. Like me, they would have a perfect Nate or a
Like
perfect
me.
Jesse. No, I'm just saying they would have a perfect me. And,
got you.
And
Okay.
they had the ability to just take off their helmets or take off their glass, and the surrogate to just sit there staring. So that's where y'all gonna find me. I'm taking off.
You taking the helmet off the
I'm
rest of
taking
the
the
show?
helmet off. Yeah, I'm just gonna stare.
So Nate's telling us without telling us he might.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he
might.
won't go
He
against
might.
himself.
He might.
Okay. All right, Jesse, what about you? Tackle if he's the best player on the board, or you going defense?
You got to go defense.
I think so too.
This team with the signing of Dak is a win now team. There is no more. We can't wait. There's no more. We're developing. You got to go now, because everyone else is preparing for now. Right, all the team that were contending are saying, "How can I get better right now to go back and compete?" The Niners are feeling like, "Ooh, they're 2 years ago. We're getting back to go back there." A lot of teams are starting to look, and your division. Start looking around your division. They're getting ready to compete. They're getting ready. They're getting their roster ready, not just to go out there and say, "Hey, we just want to go play football." They're building rosters to go and compete and to try to win this division. And the Cowboys, I think they were like 23rd or 24th overall on defense last year. They have to put those pieces in place to compete right now. The tackle situation, we know that's going to be a need in the future. Mm-hmm. But right now, if you go get a tackle and you still can't stop anybody on defense, you need corners. You need guys who can stop the passing game. And to go get a guy like I'm leaning more toward Surtain. I think he's the more polished player. I think he's the guy who can plug in and play right now, still have his rookie lumps and bumps, but be able to be as consistent as possible. Opposite of Diggs and having Jordan Lewis on the inside. If you don't do that, and this defense goes out there and is giving up historical numbers again, it's a smack in the face. It's a smack in the face to us, to your team, and we'll be sitting here next year saying, "Oh, Dan Quinn, another one bites the dust." Yeah. Another one bites the dust, because his style requires you to have good corners. You cannot play that cover 3 defense. You can't play that man-free defense if you don't have guys who can cover.
Kurt?
Period.
What if you have any doubts about Tyron or Lyle's health?
You've been had doubts in Tyron's health.
Well, yeah, but look at last year.
You just paid Lyle.
Yeah.
You cannot. All you need is for 2 of the 3 to come back. That's the president, Zach Martin, Lyle Collins, or
just 2 of the 3.
Smith. Mm-hmm. You have to, as an offensive line coach and an offensive coordinator, be able to. You have 2 All-Pros in those 3 guys, because I'm saying 2 of them will be back. You have a serviceable offensive line, more than serviceable. They all have experience. They all have depth. Now, we don't know whether Tyron, I'm not even counting him, because we don't know whether he's going to play 12 games or he's going to play 4 games. But Lyle should be healthy. Now, if they see where Lyle is not going to be healthy, Well, guess what, y'all? Y'all just backed me up into a corner, and I'm about to unplug myself. I'm a serious think now. If you just pay Lyle a boatload of money, and if this kid is not going to play this year,
yeah, it's a bad contract.
Yeah, that's another bad contract. And now, how do you survive? Because you're basing everything on drafting defensive players, having a low salary cap on that side of the ball, because all your money is on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I was saying last week when we were talking about Pitts that the defense needs help. You got to do something to address that defense. And like you said, one of the cornerbacks is probably going to be your best bet.
All right.
But what if that linebacker, Michael Parsons, is the top guy on your board?
It can't be. It can't be.
Well, okay, he had an attitude problem, and he didn't play last year.
Right.
But okay, what do you see? Because I'm relying solely on our guys that have been in these draft rooms, and they've been talking. I'm like, okay, I'm listening to you, Bucky. I'm listening to you, Brad. I'm listening to all you guys. Okay, what is it about the Parsons kid that we don't like? Is it attitude? Is it that he didn't play last year? What is it that we don't like? Is it because he's a linebacker? So what is it you don't like, Jess?
He's the linebacker. I'm not dedicating a top 10 pick to a linebacker.
Okay.
I'm not. I'm not.
Okay. I'm not arguing with it, brother. I'm not.
There's so many other needs on this football team. I cannot dedicate another first round pick to a line. Like I can't do that. I can't. Getting a guy like Parsons, number 10 pick, that would. I can't. I don't see. Give me Sewell, give me Slater, give me Surtain, give me JC, give me Pitts. Hell, even give me Jamar Chase. Give me Devontae Smith. You cannot go Parsons number 10. You cannot. You can't. I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
I'm sorry. If that was going to be the case, then you should have made Jalen. What is it? You should have released him before his money became guaranteed.
So who? All right, start with you, Kurt. Who would be off of expectation of who's going to be there at 10? What's your wish list in order? Like expected to be there. Who would you draft?
The cornerback, Surtain. I think he'd be. It sounds. I mean, I'm not a draft, guru at all.
But you put together the draft magazine, so you know what you're talking about. You read a lot.
I read a lot, but I don't scout these guys. But yeah, he sounds like the most polished guy, the closest ready to help you immediately, which is what they need. They need somebody that can step on the field right away and make an impact. And so, there's some debate about, do you go for the coverage or do you go for the rush, which is better to address? But at this point, it looks like that those rush guys, there isn't somebody, I guess, the caliber of Surtain that you address at number 10. So you got to go with the cornerback at that point. So,
and then who's your number 2?
Number 2 in the second round? Or
no, just if Surtain's not there.
If Surtain's not there, that's a good one. They talk. I guess Horn is their next guy on the cornerback spot there. It'd be interesting.
Farley's names come up.
Yeah,
but,
he's got
you got the injury, but you know how this team is. Bet on the guy that bet on him to recover.
Need a sure thing in that.
But that's usually
round.
Second round that they do that. So you would go Surtain, Horn. That would be your.
I guess. I mean, I would look at. If you could trade back a little bit and still think you can get one of those cornerbacks and pick up a pick, or maybe you pick up a starting cornerback.
But those would be your 2 guys.
Yeah, I guess. Well,
but my question is this right here. If we move back, do we get guys that are going to contribute to this team? Because that has been a big issue with me. I mean, we have gotten guys in the second round that couldn't even get on the field for us.
So you mean if you move back, is that guy you're getting in the first round going to contribute?
It's because we have gotten guys, and I'm talking about defensively, and they just we 2 years. Who is Tristan?
Hell, we've gotten guys.
Who is Tristan Hill?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we've got guys in the first round that.
But I'm just saying, we as an organization have to be real careful that the guys that we're getting can contribute. So yes, sir, IQ has a lot to do with this year, and you know, an immature guy like myself who didn't probably grow up to was 35 years old, saying we got to go out and get some mature guys.
Or yet.
Yeah.
Or matured yet.
You can call it whatever you want. You can call it whatever you want, Shannon. I'm finna unplug.
So, all right. So, same question to you: who would be expected to be there? Who would be your number one and number two guy?
Surtain.
Surtain first. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then Surtain, and then the guy that Jesse don't like. You know.
Horn.
No. The linebacker.
Parsons.
Oh, Parsons. All right, Jesse, who would be your 1 and 2? Surtain?
Surtain would be my 1.
Okay.
JC would be my 2.
Okay.
And then it would go tackle.
Okay.
So whether that's Sewell or Slater, if defense cornerback isn't the first 2, then I go offense.
Okay.
And I find other defenders for the rest of the draft.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, let me throw this out because I think I've been on the Surtain train for a while, and then we published these interviews on the website yesterday, and one of them was Kyle Pitts, and one of the questions I believe Kellen Moore or somebody asked him was who the toughest corner was that he went up against, and he said J.C. Horn, and so my question to you is, didn't Surtain, and I'm on the fence, I think I'd be happy with either one of those guys, but Surtain had a lot more helping him out on defense at Alabama, right? He had a lot of all-pro guys up front and behind him. Does that make up for a little bit with him? When you're Horn, you're kind of on an island at South Carolina. Like you're the best player probably on the defensive side of the ball.
Was it the system that helped him?
Right. I guess that's what I'm asking.
People in the system.
So does that? I mean, I don't know. If you got the skills, you got the skills, right? So I may be a little bit leaning towards Horn. I'm leaning towards him a lot more now than I was 2 weeks ago. But
because of what Kyle Pitts said?
Well, just a combination of that, and then just some of the things I'm reading, some of the things I'm hearing. I think I'd be happy with either one of those guys. I think I'd still go Surtain first, but I think I was real heavy Surtain. Now I'm kind of like, I think I'd be happy with either guy.
The only thing, and I'm no draft guru, but I know what to look for on film when studying guys. The difference between the two for me is consistency in technique, consistency in alignment assignment. Surtain is more polished in that area. And that could become because he comes from, they both have NFL pedigree, right? Both of their dads were longtime NFL veterans. But Surtain's dad actually played the position.
Right.
So he's been taught the position since yay high. He's just more polished. A lot of times you see J.C. Horn, he has some YOLO ball in him. Okay, he got a little YOLO in him. Well, he'll just kind of go off and do his own thing, and reminds me of Janoris Jenkins, where you jump some routes, you take some guesses, and you take some chances. And as good as he is athletically, when you go to look at it, after all the hype, he only had 2 interceptions in
bingo
at South Carolina. He only had 2. But he's willing to take the chance. And the thing is that what you don't understand quite yet is that on this level, when you guess and you guess wrong, it's real bad. Because you ain't playing Tulane. See what I'm saying? You ain't playing Tulane.
But you can miss and turn around and catch the guy.
Right. You're not playing. You're not playing Vanderbilt. And so I think that's the difference. Is where Surtain was in a situation where Nick Saban is really tough
on his DBs. Yes, he is.
And you have to be sound because he puts a lot of onus on you. The reason why those guys are so good up front is because he's saying, I'm secure on the back end so I can blitz guys, I can send guys. And yes, granted, Alabama's going to have a couple first-round picks on their linebacking core and their defensive front. But they're able to do what they're able to do because he's saying on the outside, you're going to be so technically sound in what you do that I know you're going to be where you're going to be. J.C. Horn kind of was like the man on his defense, so he got a chance to do a little bit more YOLO than what Surtain was able to do in Alabama. So I want, because we're talking about having someone come in right now and produce. So give me the guy who's a little bit more polished, less YOLO ball. You know, his pedigree comes from that line of being a cornerback. His dad understands what Dan Quinn wants in a corner. So not only does he get a chance to hear it from his coaches, but he can also pick up the phone and say, so Dad, how should I do this and how should I do that? And still have a really good understanding of what it is. And I like players that come from that Nick Saban.
You know, the system helps him, doesn't hurt him.
Yeah. It grows you. So
Chris just said in my ear, Horn had 5 PI calls in 7 games.
Because he's aggressive.
Yeah.
He's a very aggressive. He's very physical. And again, that works when you're playing Tulane. Mm-hmm. It works when you're playing Tulane. It works when you're playing the Citadel. Oh, that works. But when you're playing Julio Jones and when you're playing Devontae Adams and you got to go play
all these talented wide receivers in the NFL.
You know what I'm saying? When you got to go play Kenny Galladay twice a year. When you got to go play Terry McLaurin in Washington twice a year. When you got to go play certain guys like that.
And whoever's in Philly.
Whoever's in Philly. They'll probably go get another pass catcher. When you play guys like that twice a year and you look at our schedule, you're going to play some dogs at the receiver spot. I need less YOLO and more alignment assignment, sound technique football so that we can go out there. And again, I'm not looking for you to be a Hall of Famer out the gate. We just can't be 25 in total defense.
Nate, before we go to break, do you have the helmet off or is it on?
I'm on back on. I just signed back in, yeah.
Okay. All right. You want to get it together?
Yeah.
Get it together. We'll go to break and then get it together and then join back in the conversation because we got some things to talk about.
Yeah.
A couple of things about the game itself. We'll talk about the draft a little more. A couple of things have come out. There's word out on the street that the number change has possibly passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did.
I don't like it. And I don't like it. Let's get some feedback from an offensive lineman and a wide receiver if they like it.
The biggest, fattest number one in the world.
And then a little bit of a rules change with instant replay. Talk about that. Draft. All kind of stuff. A lot more stuff. A lot more show to go. We'll be right back on Hanging with the Boys.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for Hanging with the Boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
1996, a great year and a glorious decade. Dolly the sheep was cloned. Dial-up was awesome. Influencers didn't exist. Pants were baggy. And the Dallas Cowboys won it all yet again. Sadly, we can't go back to the 90s, but we can still watch the Cowboys try to win it all once more. Whether you're traveling to the games or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com. proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Petit Jean Meats has been providing high-quality meat for families for more than 90 years. Using only the best cuts of meat and quality ingredients, Petit Jean Meats still smokes their meats the old-fashioned way, over real hickory chips for 18 hours. Fill your pantry with Petit Jean Meats ham, sausage, bacon, and more. Or send your loved ones a gift box full of their favorite items from pjmeats.com. That's pjmeats.com. Petit Jean Meats. Taste the difference.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back. Hanging with the Boys. If you're watching the game in old basketball shorts or baggy sweats, that's for amateurs. If you want to relax like a pro, upgrade to the comfort of Tommy John loungewear. It looks awesome, feels even better. It's got pockets for snacks. It's machine washable for any unpredictable nacho cheese spill. Shop loungewear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 15% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. Live look there at Tostitos Championship Plaza at the Ford Center and Star in Frisco. Cloudy.
Quiet out there.
54 degrees. Very quiet. Not a lot. Nothing going on really. Just some highlights out there on the video board. Mm-hmm. So, all right, we're back. Nate's got the helmet on.
Yeah, you know that little eyes and thing. You know they be laying in the bed. You be laying in the bed, and your surrogate be walking around.
Surrogate. I heard of the movie. I just never,
it's wild, man.
Never
it's wild.
Watched it. What's your favorite? Chris just said there's a random child running around on the field. There he is over on the left. So that's the only action that's. Hopefully, there's an adult over on the far left. Just a child.
File
so
report.
Yeah, if you've lost your child, you might want to check the plaza at the Star. Nate, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Avatar.
Really?
Yeah. Once again, it's kind of the Avatar. You have to kind of go to sleep and get your Avatar. Yeah.
What about a trend?
You got a favorite movie, Jess?
Coming to America.
Really? What did you think about part 2?
It was all right.
I didn't watch it just because I heard it was so bad. I did not want to tarnish the first.
It was okay.
That's probably one of my favorites of all time. What about you, Kurt? Got a favorite?
Field of Dreams was always.
Whoa! Field of Dreams.
That's a good one.
How about you, brother?
They will come.
I don't know if I have a favorite, but I've watched For Love of the Game a lot. And A Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
A Knight's Tale, I watched that a whole lot.
Knight's
I used to be big on going and buying DVDs or Blu-rays and then just watching them over and over and over before Netflix and all that stuff came out. And then then I just binge watch.
So now, okay, quick, who's your second best movies?
Bodyguard.
Really?
Oh, that was nice.
I've never seen it.
Oh, that was nice.
Never saw it.
Wow, that was some beautiful singing too, man. Yeah, Bodyguard was sweet.
I never saw Titanic either.
Yeah, I ain't trying to watch that.
I can do without that.
What about you, Kurt? Second favorite?
Probably High Fidelity.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, I like the music in it. And Cusack fan.
Who sings it?
Oh, a bunch of bands I never heard of.
Heavy metal?
No, it's a mix.
Okay. What about you, second favorite?
Godfather 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Watch them back to back.
Big Godfather guy?
Oh, my God.
Did you get into The Sopranos?
No. Nobody can do what the Godfather done. Nobody.
What's your favorite?
What about you?
You gonna answer?
What about you?
I don't really know. I liked Kingdom of Heaven. Did y'all ever see that? Orlando Bloom.
Oh, yes, sir. When he's a blacksmith.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he came here and fought, and then, kept that wall up for
it's about the Christian Crusades.
Yeah.
And all that. I like those big epic movies like Gladiator and Pirates of the.
Oh, man. Are you not entertained?
Yeah. What's your favorite series that you've ever binge watched?
Oh, wow.
Ozark.
Oh, last season's coming out soon.
What's Ozark about? I keep hearing about it.
You'd love it, Nate. It's dark. You would love it.
I ain't going to the dark. The only way I'm going to the dark is the Godfather 1 and 2.
You would love Ozark.
Dark.
I think you would really like Ozark. It's deep. It's every episode. Yeah. They just get deeper. Like when you think they can't get any deeper, it's like, what? How? Come on, Marty. Marty, you should know this. It's like, there's no end.
Man.
No series for you?
My youngest son recently got into MASH and
really
watched the whole thing, and so I watched that a lot, and then reminded how much I enjoyed that movie or that show when I was a kid. And
MASH. How old is he?
He's 14.
And he liked MASH.
Oh, he loved it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Good times.
Good times?
Yeah.
JJ!
When James Evans left. it went downhill.
I think probably Game of Thrones and Sons of Anarchy was up there. That was the first show I ever binge watched. Like, I didn't watch TV probably for about 4 or 5 years. Like, didn't even turn the TV on. I would go to the bar to watch sports, didn't watch TV at home, and then my roommate had Netflix, and for some reason I started watching Sons of Anarchy, and I think there were 7 or 8 seasons, and I literally spent probably 2 months in bed watching Sons of Anarchy.
You know what's crazy about Netflix? As much money as they make, it's still only a fraction of what they actually couldn't make. Because think about it.
Jesse.
Don't get many ideas.
You finna make them go, come on, Jesse. Don't jinx us. Stop.
You'd pay $20. You'd pay double that easy.
I don't pay anything, first of all. Because you know why? You know what I'm saying? They can make triple of it. Because I guarantee
the password.
Like, most people don't own the Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You share passwords.
You share a password. Mm-hmm. If they cut that down, they triple their profit.
And at one point, I can't remember if it was them or if
this
it was
is the Star. You know, people listen to us,
or if it was HBO. But they actually encouraged sharing of passwords because it got their product out there.
Really?
More. Yeah, I can't remember which one of them it was, but yeah.
Just don't get in an argument with her.
Yeah.
Snatch it back from
change the password.
Snatch it back.
So now we done went from the best player in the draft to Netflix. That's not gonna win us in the football game.
We got squirrel brains, but now we get to the rules. Yeah,
we ain't gonna win no games off of that one.
But that's why we're the show of the people. Because we talk football.
Because you never know.
We're all squirrel brains. We all start down a path.
Quickly. You know the first Martin Lawrence. The first Martin Lawrence.
Martin? Mm-hmm.
Martin Lawrence. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah. It was called Martin, right?
He had done all of his seasons. I was like you. I never watched TV. And one day I turned on the TV, and I'm not lying. I called some people and said, man, Martin Lawrence got a new show. They're like, man, this guy going off the air. Can you believe it?
That was in your era.
That's what I'm saying. But I never watched TV, man.
You were running them streets?
Ran the streets. I made the streets.
He was his own series.
Hey, you only got so many hours in a day and night, right, Nate? That's why I didn't watch TV for
That's
about
why
4
I slept
years.
at the Star. I slept many a morning. I woke up
in your
at
car?
the Star. Yes, sir. I was not going to be late.
It was like, listen, this ain't going to end well. I mean, let me sleep right here.
Yeah. I got a divorce, but I kept my career with the Cowboys.
What do you want to talk about the numbers or the
Let's talk
instant
about the
replay?
numbers because I got a theory.
Yeah,
not a theory, but
Okay, go ahead on.
Go ahead. Let's talk about the numbers.
No, well, I mean, the word came out. You probably know. You can tell us more about it, Kurt. What exactly the rule is? But players are allowed to change their number, and it's different.
Pretty much every player except the big linemen, they're kind of stuck still.
Right.
You know, the skill guys, the linebackers, such they can. Pick any number.
Single digits, double digits, teens, whatever.
Yeah.
So
now the caveat is, if you change your number this season, you have to buy
what's out there, right?
Well, not what's out there, because here's the thing: like if you talk about like Dick's Sporting Goods or all your little sporting goods shops, stuff like that. So they already got their jerseys from the NFL,
right?
So the NFL already got their money,
right?
So you have to buy whatever the NFL. Not every store, because the store already got theirs. Whatever the NFL inventory is left. Now, my thought process was this. Let's just use Dak for an example. If I'm Dak and I wanted to go and change my number to whatever,
2. Don't want to say 9 or 8 because then we're gonna have people tweeting the show like.
But
2.
let's just say he wanted to change his number.
Yeah.
On a business side, if I was Dak, probably up to $1 million. I would buy the inventory
because you'll generate that much in New Jersey sales, right?
No, not even that. But yes, I will generate New Jersey sales. And for those that don't know, players like Dak, you get a cut every single year. When you look up and you see those guys, he's number 1 in jersey sales. You get kickback from that. Okay,
you get a percentage.
Of overall sales if you sell a certain amount of jerseys. Which, if Dak changed his number, he most definitely would. So one, I would buy up the inventory, probably up to $1 million, if I had that kind of money. And then what I would do is my jersey sales would go through the roof because everyone would want especially the Cowboys start winning next season, everybody wants the new number. But then I would take that and I would do small autograph sessions where you can buy my old number, and I would do some sort of inscription of, the last whatever, and then sell it back for double of what I paid for it.
4 ain't forever. Hey.
Whatever it may be, whatever that thing is, I would do something significantly special where other people couldn't do it because I own them. So if you got this one, then you knew this was one of those deals where if I'm Tom Brady, right, I go do it and say, hey, 7 rings, or the last of the 7, whatever it is, and then I would sell it. If I paid $250 to get it, I'm selling it for $500.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would be able to make my money back because people would want to buy it in bulk. People would want it because
buy half of the jerseys back, and you got your money. Yeah,
but you got to have a little money to do that. You got to have a little put out. But I would buy the inventory up to $1 million, and then do something where it was a limited edition type deal. And I'm already going to make my money back because I'm going to sell twice as much. If Dak changed his number, he would sell twice as many jerseys as he would last year.
Yeah.
Because Cowboy fans are like that.
I'm just glad that they're able to do that. I always liked that about college. You can have all the different numbers, and I'm glad they do that. I mean, I wish they would let not the offensive line, but I think we should stay kind of, status quo, but everybody else let them go at it.
Here's exactly what it is. The expanded jerseys will allow running backs, tight ends, fullbacks, H-backs, and wide receivers to wear numbers 1 to 49 and then 80 to 89. DBs can choose from 1 to 49. Linebackers 1 to 59 and 90 to 99. Offensive linemen 50 to 79. And defensive linemen 50 to 79 and 90 to 99. Quarterbacks, kickers, and punters will remain in 1 through 19.
Okay, so let's keep it Cowboy themed.
Man, can you see a wide receiver running down the field in 49? I don't like it. I don't like that.
Mike Irvin was 49 in college, I believe, right?
48.
Or 48, yeah.
That's college. You're not in college anymore.
Who was?
Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? It might have been 49. You might be right.
I think it was 49.
Chris, might be
I'll
49.
look it up.
Cowboy based.
Mm-hmm.
What Cowboy numbers? Because they haven't retired any numbers.
No.
There's no official retirement numbers.
Nick actually wrote an article about 2 or 3 weeks ago on DallasCowboys.com that's about this subject. So everybody that's listening, go read it. It's actually really interesting. Go ahead.
What numbers are off limits? So that's my first question. What numbers are off limits? And then for any reporters listening that have the time, Kurt, you're a writer. I got a story for you. Now that we're changing numbers,
Jesse trying to do your job now. He takes my job away from me every day on the show.
I'm giving him an alley-oop. I'm giving him an alley-oop. I promise you, you'll get major hits. You'll now have to rank what is the most successful number in NFL history. So, for example, number 12, right? Tom Brady, Roger Staubach, Bradshaw. So you look at that. How many championships? 32. OJ, Marcus Allen. Who else wore 32? Franco Harris, right?
Yeah.
So numbers like that, 24. Darrelle Revis, early Charles Woodson.
Everson Walls.
So, you would go and look at these numbers and say, what number in NFL history produced the greatest
players.
amount of players, stats, championships, stuff like that. And then you'll be able to see 12 is the GOAT of all numbers in the NFL. 88 is the GOAT of all numbers of the NFL, whatever that number is. So, boom.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the research, but to give you the idea, my brother.
So here's I'll just give away because it's been up for 2 weeks now. So the number 1 jersey, and I love the way Nick wrote this, and that's why I'm going to read this. Number 1 jersey that sacred number for the Cowboys is 74, Bob Lilly, right? And Nick wrote, it's the one jersey number you don't want to be given if you're a rookie trying to make the team, because there can be up to 90 players on a training camp roster, and sometimes the Cowboys are forced to give number 74 to a lineman, but it's not a good thing because no one is going to wear Bob Lilly's number in a game that really counts. In fact, The player is usually so far down the depth chart that he might not even make it to a preseason game. There's only one player dubbed Mr. Cowboy, and his number 74 isn't going anywhere. No player has ever officially worn 74 since Lilly retired in the mid-'70s. It's been untouched for this long. Don't expect that to
can
change
you imagine walking in? You're a rookie free agent.
74.
You walk in.
McCoy's like, here.
I'm loving. Like, you've lived out your dream, right? Like your entire life. You're like, I want to make it to the league, and you get to the league, and you get to your locker. And 74 is hanging in
But the thing is, you probably have no idea until somebody tells you.
Yeah.
Until one of the intern equipment guys says,
And then you get all excited because you have that number, not realizing what that number means.
Right. It's a death
my
wish.
God, Bob Lilly wore this. They must really pick something up. No, it means you ain't never going to make the roster.
Be here.
Your parents buy the number.
Right. They get shirts made. Like,
wow. I'm going to call Paulie. Paulie, take care of that guy.
By the way, Michael Irvin was 47.
47. I don't want to say y'all, but
you didn't say nothing. We correct you all the time. Correct us.
And I'm trying to stop y'all from doing that.
That was your chance right there to throw us, kick us in the back. Like you normally do.
I'm somewhat surprised that players seem to value their college number more than the pros. You've reached the pinnacle. Why wouldn't
I value my college?
Most people, like in college, that number that you had in college, you probably had in high school. Like I wore number 9 in high school.
Yeah.
So
you've been wearing it since Little League sometimes, right?
Yeah. So like most guys that you see,
the best.
It's like you just When I went to Carolina, I was like, listen, guys, I want to wear number 9. Like, no problem. When are you going to sign? You got number 9. And so that's the kind of number you really like. I'm established now. So when you get in the league, it's interesting to see how fast you think CD is going to go back to number 2. Because he didn't want 88 to start with.
Who that?
CD Lamb.
And then who would they protect?
I don't think. You think he'd go back?
I think without a shadow of a doubt, he's going back.
Well,
to 2
I think
next
he
year.
would want to. I just can't. I don't think he would. Your owner asked you to wear 88, and it's such a tradition. I would think he would.
And then like Jalen could go to 9, but then
that'll be interesting.
Amari could go to 9, right? That when he 9 in college.
Yeah.
So then you're going to have guys probably trying to buy each other out, and then that was Romo. Do you give that number away? So who would be your top 3, Kurt, that you would not ever give their number out again on the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, Lilly, Staubach at 12, and I don't know. 22 and 8 are the other 2 numbers that aren't used anymore, and
82 is probably not going anywhere anytime soon either.
That's recency.
Unless you draft Kyle Pitts, and then it would be like, no, this is your number. Like 82 is your number.
Yeah. I think it'd have to probably be Smith because he's the rushing champ, and you've got Bob Hayes with that number 2. So
yeah, who would be your sacred 3, Nate?
It's Bob Lilly. That'll be it.
Everybody else, every other one's open.
Yeah, just open it up, man, because that's just how it goes, man. There's ain't but one Mr. Cowboy, man, and I that's it. He is it, and that's it. Everybody else wide open.
What about you, Jess?
See, I'm not, no offense, you guys, I'm not as old as Kurt and Nate.
Yeah.
So to me, like, I know of Bob Lilly, but I don't come from that era where he was Mr. Cowboy to me, So to me, it's like Troy. It's 8. It's 22.
Yeah,
right.
Those are the numbers that you kind of like. You stay away from them. That whole 88 thing, they've kind of. Can I say hoe on air? They've kind of like hold that number out.
Yeah, I think hoes.
Ho's fine.
Jesus.
I mean, it's
digging up a garden.
It's the internet. That's
about digging up a garden, right?
Yeah,
okay.
they've garden tooled that number out.
Yeah,
like that number is no longer really sacred to me.
Y'all getting worse than Nate. Okay.
They've garden tooled that number
Jesse.
out.
Sir, going crazy.
But yeah, it would be 8 and 22 for me.
8 and 22. I think me would probably. I get the Bob Lilly thing, but I'm kind of like Jesse. Like I understand it. I don't know if I would protect that one. I think 12 for sure. 12, 8, and 22 are probably And Tony, I love Tony to death, but I mean, you got to win a Super Bowl for protecting your number, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I would think.
Yeah, that'd probably be mine.
But my biggest thing would be I just wouldn't want people like if I'm Jalen, maybe because he's defense, but like an offensive guy, I don't want to wear a number. I guess if I'm a quarterback, I don't want to wear the number the guy wore. Right, because you're always going to be compared.
Right.
Well, that's, Jalen's 54. That was Randy White and Chuck Howley, who were both Ring Honor and Hall of Fame guy, Randy. So maybe they don't want to be compared. Does that players look back to see who they carry?
No, quarterbacks are different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Jalen, just don't do it. Okay, just leave it alone.
Yeah, he's just asking for more.
Yeah, just leave it alone.
Criticism.
And now, unless you're going to turn back into that Jalen about 3 years ago, then get at it.
If you're going to give it to Jalen and then number 9 in South Bend South Bend, then by all means,
you know what?
Wear it.
This is a
How do we get on a bashing Jalen?
I was going to say this is a squirrel moment, but we brought it up. What do you expect out of Jalen this year?
Great things.
Do you really?
Yes, sir.
You think he's going to get it back on track?
I think that this coach.
Are you expecting or are you hoping?
A little bit of both, James.
Okay, all right.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Because
That's
I've seen
honest.
you play a year and a half of bad. I've seen that. So but that kid we saw 2 or 3 years ago that was hungry, that was making tackles, big plays for little or no gain. That's the guy. I think he can be that guy.
Because he's still got the physical tools, right?
He may have to just maybe this coach can be that guy that can help him, because this is a big year, not only for him but for the Cowboys. We need for him to play. Now, ain't nobody more critical than me. I've been just killing this kid, but I need him or Leighton, either one, to show up this year.
Does Jalen need Leighton?
They have to show up.
Jalen's good years was when Leighton was good. Leighton's been hurt the last year and a half, so maybe that's the key. You got to get Leighton on the field to get Jalen going.
What's your expectation or hope or both?
My
or do you want to pass on this question? You can pass. It's okay.
Come on. It's not my style. It's not my style. Not my style to pass on the talking opportunity. Come on. You guys know better than this.
Forgot who I was talking to.
Listen, you could have put up any topic. I'm going to find a way to interject myself into it.
It's been a while since we've been in the same room. I forgot.
I'm not passing up opportunity to talk.
All right,
pass on it. No, I'm hoping we need a Pro Bowl year from Jalen.
Yes, sir.
We
need it, man.
A Pro Bowl year from Jalen. My expectations is not that, because maybe I hang too much. And I'm like the supreme optimistic person. But when you just see a trend over and over again, and I know in this league, once offensive coordinators and quarterbacks figure you out, unless you find a way to just totally revamp yourself, you're dead fish in the water. Because they know now how to get you and what to do to get you. And Jalen just doesn't come off as the person who was able. Sometimes he seems like he doesn't read the room well.
Yeah, he's not self-aware.
And it's like, dude, you should be doing things a little bit different. And when he makes the comment of, look at the tape. No, we haven't looked at the tape.
See, what Jesse's trying to say is, if an option route kills you, and what I mean by that, let's say a running back swings out of the backfield and comes straight at you, and he reading how you playing him. Well, if you got a guess, take that out. Say, you know what, my help is to the outside, so I'm standing right inside. You ain't coming in here. You got to be smart enough to see that film and know, okay, I can't take him either way. So I'm gonna push him towards my help. So we'll have an opportunity to be successful. Jalen, a lot of times you just see him running around like he's not thinking. And am I wrong in what I'm saying? So a lot of times when you're not thinking, you're reading too many keys. You're looking through the guard to the running back to the quarter. Too many keys for him. Give him a certain thing to read. Give him a certain thing to do. I just tell him, this is what you do on this play. Or if you see this formation, this is what you do. Don't have him doing multiple things. If he's a multiple guy, he's lost.
Yeah. All right, let's take our.
Do we have time for me to Tom Brady just made a point, or maybe we do this after the break.
You know what? It's Amen Corner. It's your show from here on out. Let's take a break. Kurt's got a point. Kurt's also going to talk about the instant replay rule change.
Yeah, because he got some movies I ain't never heard of.
And whatever else he wants to talk about when we come back with Amen Corner on Hanging with the Boys.
High Fidelity, a movie? Infidelity, what was it?
Whoa. How great would it be to travel to watch the Cowboys win on another team's turf? Pretty great. But honestly, just watching the game from anywhere but your house would be fun. Even a hotel bar with some guy named Phil from St. Louis who thinks Oakland still has a team. So whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Hey, Cowboys fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience AT&T Stadium's exclusive VIP Owners Club. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Cowboys fans, enter the free-to-play draft pick challenge presented by DraftKings for a chance to win 2 2021 season tickets. Submit your picks before the draft starts on April the 29th. You must be 21 years of age or older to play. To see the official rules and enter now, go to DallasCowboys.com/draftpickchallenge. That's DallasCowboys.com/draftpickchallenge. And now,
but hold on, before we go to Amen Corner.
Okay.
Question for you.
What?
Have you booked your Mexico trip for 2022?
You know what? The pre-sale went on this week. And I looked at the pre-sale. It wasn't on last year.
Yeah.
The concert this year is the divisional playoff game round. And if we don't make the playoffs, I might just look for another job anyway.
Lies.
I didn't book it. The first time in 6 years I didn't book it.
Wow.
Because I fully 100% expect us to be in the first round of the playoffs.
But somebody got us predicted winning 9.5 games, so that put us in the playoffs.
You don't think that they'll get a bye, right? So you could have gone.
Ooh.
Something to think about.
Well,
right? You know?
Yeah. Damn, is that right? Maybe I got to rethink this.
No, the division round is the second round.
Yeah, division round is second.
Okay. Wild card is the first round.
Yeah, wild card would first, be second. So I didn't book it because I expect us to be in the divisional round of the playoffs. Like,
Awesome.
there's no reason why. Like, that tells you that I think this team, because I've booked it every year, no matter what, whether it was that weekend or a different weekend. But if they don't make, we got some bad issues if we don't make it to the divisional round of the playoffs. So
you won't go in the locker room like someone owes me a goddamn Mexico trip.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't make it to the division round.
Exactly. I'll be livid, but I'm not happy about it. But my buddy Jim from California that I always go with, he booked it and he replaced me. So it was tough to see that.
Replaced.
He texted me that and it was really, really tough. So all right, Kurt, Amen Corner. And as you said that during the break, I got the notification on my phone about Brady ripping the new NFL jersey change. So Kurt, Amen Corner, take it away.
We were just talking about it, and Tom Brady just retweeted out that he thinks that could cause confusion among the linemen, and we're going to see bad football because they won't know who to block. And then Albert Breer followed that up with, it's a real concern for some of the coaches that they've talked about it, that this could create confusion among the linemen, not knowing, who to block and that sort of thing.
Lawrence Taylor could have had on 65, 56, 2008. We wouldn't know who Lawrence Taylor was. Come on, man.
That does seem a little like a bit of a stretch there. So,
because once you change, you're not gonna be able to do this week in and week out. You change it, and that's what you're stuck with.
Right.
I don't know how
it's gonna cause confusion.
Yeah, the smartest Tom. Tom's just special, man. Especially good.
Tom, this is that old man moment right here. We just complain about something.
Yeah. I don't like these changes. These kids.
You're 20 plus years in. If you don't know who the Sam and the Mike linebacker is, you're the problem. Not the numbers.
You have to worry about that. Well, we had talked about earlier. I guess it was when Micah Parsons. We were talking about him a little bit. He sat out last year because of COVID. Some of these guys have. Does that concern you guys at all? Would you draft a guy? Would you be more hesitant to draft a guy who did not play last year?
No. And the reason being for me is, I don't know, I'm not in the draft room. I'm not giving up all these assets and money to sign a player as high as Parsons is going to go. But I look at it like this. With the lack of, same thing like the NFL, lack of offseason, lack of training camp, and now you want me to go out and give it up for an organization that doesn't pay me, and if I get hurt, they just continue to move on, and I know my draft stock is high. Like I don't know why teams are looking at that as some sort of weakness. I'm like, damn, that's a smart kid. He saw it, and this is the part where sometimes NFL teams and owners they say they want smart players. They do want smart players. They don't want players
smarter than them
who think for themselves, who have the ability to step out there and be on that island by yourself. Because to do that, you got to kind of have a little bit of kahunas to say, you know what, I'm not going to play, and I know that's how it's going to be looked. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, this is something that I have to value myself. I have to make sure that my value, because Penn State's value, when Happy Valley opens back up, they're going to be 100,000 fans waving their white shirts for their whiteouts, no matter what. And that organization, that program is going to make millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars off the football program. If Parsons would have gotten hurt this year because there wasn't the proper steps taking place in the offseason, in training camp, and then rushed to a season, he tears a knee, an ankle, and his draft stock drops all the way down, Penn State moves on. Mm-hmm. James Franklin moves on.
Into his career, possibly.
End of his career. Mm-hmm. Or what would have been of his career gets cut in half as far as his draft stock, the money he would have made, the endorsements he would have gotten. So for me, I'm looking at this as saying, you know what? This is a smart guy. This is a guy who understands. It has nothing to do with he doesn't love football. Yeah, I love football, and I want to play it for a very long time when they actually pay me some cash. Yeah. And me not doing that this year for whatever reason that I chose not to do it, giving myself a chance to better my pro days, or if I had a real concern that I might have caught COVID, and we're seeing little glimpses of how this COVID has affected some players. You see it in the NBA where guys have gotten COVID and they haven't still returned like 100% from it. Guys are like, now I have to use an asthma pump, and we're still questioning last year. Was part of what Zeke was going on in his performance, was that because he never fully recovered from? So you have all these little questions that we don't know. We're not doctors. We'll see in a couple years the longing effects of what COVID did to us as a society and as athletes. But when I look at a guy like Parsons, I'm not saying, no, this kid loved football. You saw it on the field. We wouldn't be talking about him if he didn't love football enough to play it at a high level. So, because he sat out last year because of COVID, that smart kid to me.
Look like it didn't hurt him. It's like just look at his highlights. Don't look like it hurt him in his workurs. It definitely don't look like it hurt him in his workouts. He looks good to me, and that's why I was asking you earlier. What is it that you don't like? For him not to be at the number 10 pick. Is it because he missed last year? Is it because he got a little problem, or what is it? You said it's because we already got linebackers. But I don't think we have this guy. I don't think Leighton or Jalen is this guy. So, but that's, I'm not making that pick.
You feel the same way guys skipping bowl games?
Yeah,
bowl games.
If you're not playing the national championship, please.
Bowl game. Come on, man.
I'm gonna go risk my future. I'm a high draft pick for a goodie bag. The hell with that.
Good meal. You get a couple of good meals too.
You can keep that Chick-fil-A bowl. You can keep the PlayStation bowl.
The Weedy the Southern Belle bowl.
Michelin tire bowl. No, thank you.
Go on, man.
Well, I almost forgot about that. We had that other. You mentioned the other
rule
change. I almost forgot about it. But what do you think the replay official upstairs is now going to be able to call down to the officials for some things?
What's the wording of that?
Let's see. It's like clear
and defined,
and it's like for any call regarding possession, completions, interceptions, down by contact. It won't be just for challenges anymore. If a coach doesn't necessarily have to challenge it.
Like if you bull rush a guy and get him right here and get 2 face mask calls, is they going to change that? Because it cost some teams some games where they just bull rush the guy and grab him.
Doesn't sound like that would be.
If they ain't putting that in there.
So read it again. What is it?
Yeah.
Well, it says replay officials can consult with the on-field refs on any call regarding possession, completions, interceptions, down by contact. So some of that sounds like it still won't be.
Here's the thing: when we start running into this replay thing, I can consult with the refs on the field. Does that mean they're going to change the call?
Thank you.
Because we look at the Rams Saints 2 years ago.
The interference call. Yeah.
You got to be blind not to see that this was a clear pass interference call.
You didn't call it.
Yeah.
And you didn't call it. So because you buzz down, am I going to see it to where that gets called? And you start to over replay these games and just doing too much. And we already complained about how baseball is 19 hours long and they still don't get it right. Still don't get it right. So it'll only frustrate and hurt your brand if you add another layer of replay to this, another set of eyes, and something that's clear and present, you still get it wrong. That's just going to kill. That's going to kill your brand.
That's the big thing.
All they have to do is call down and say, "Hey, Kurt, that play is wrong. This is the right play. This is what we're going to do." Now, if you're doing it like that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But to call out and say, "Did you look at it from this
Which
angle?"
I don't know why they don't do that, because the official isn't official. Yeah. He's a legit official. Right. They should have a trained staff that is trained to do that on a replay and make that call. They should be part of the crew. And if they see where it's a wrong call, they can override the officiating crew on the field. I'm with you. If it slows the game down and they don't make a change like they did the pass interference rule, and it's just like the refs aren't going to call it because they're stubborn, I think it's dumb and it's going to turn people off, and that's one more thing that takes away from the game. So, Kurt, we're out of time, man.
They should fix that.
These guys got to be somewhere. These guys have to be somewhere.
I do.
We'll tell you about where they're going to be at some point. And one day we will. It's a pretty important deal. It's a pretty big deal.
Well, Nate has to be there today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just, I don't understand, man.
What?
You know, I just feel like the Game of Thrones, man. Just it ended wrong. We ended this show wrong.
I agree. But you know what?
What do we need to do to make it end it right?
What do we need to do to the four of us?
Just tell everybody that we're going to get a defensive player, and I'll be all right.
Are y'all going to be back in studio every week now, or is this just a one-time?
Where have I been the last 3 weeks?
This is such a better show when everyone's here.
It's good to see
Jesse is the one that's.
You should come to next week is the draft. We are the only show on draft day.
I'll come next week.
Come next Thursday. Yeah, let's do it because
let's do the first and second round.
We are the warm up. We are the warm up to the draft show. We're the only show on before the draft show coverage starts. So we will have.
Boss might change that. He let's get some guys in here who really
know what they're talking about.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
It's either Surtain or the offensive tackle. Yeah. We do know.
So we'll be back next week. Only show in town next week. We'll be draft heavy. Tune in. Kurt, thank you.
Thank you.
Jesse, thank you. Nate, thank you. It was great being in the same room with you guys again. We'll do it again in studio next Thursday. Chris, thanks for keeping us on the air. Great job. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week on another episode.
Surtain, other tackle.
Of Hanging with the Boys.
What is his name?
Later.
Surtain.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!